Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the third session. What I believe, how does it matter? We'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. These prayers, as we discuss in each session, I'm offering it to my spiritual master who removes the darkness of ignorance and enlighten with the knowledge. So this, what I believe, we were supposed to finish in 2 sessions, but there is a lot to cover. We don't want to rush it up. We want to cover everything in a slower pace so everybody can able to catch up to what is it. So going for one more session with the same topic. So before we proceed, I just want to have a quick recap. And if anyone want to turn on your videos, please turn it on to make it as a lively discussion. So I will start with the recap, but I want your help because my memory is not that good. I want your help to help me to refresh and recap what we learned or discussed in the past 2 sessions.
Great.
So we discussed about the worldview. We discussed about the worldview in the session 1. And go ahead, Prateek. I saw you. You wanna share something?
No. I just mute myself because my son was crying next to me. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, no worries. So we discussed about the worldview, how everyone's views varies. Then we discussed about a husband and wife. They were living together. Then they got conceived and she aborted. Then after 4 5 years they went and married, and then they divorced. The kids was like where to go, then they left it to the parents. That's how most of the scenarios we were seeing. We discussed about how that view came into picture. Next we discussed about two friends. One goes to IIT and other goes to the normal engineering college. With that, we got the knowledge from Bhagavad Gita. Who are the doers? Anyone else wanna help me from who are the doers where we went? Wow, it seems to be. I wanna refresh and take it from my memory. My memory is good, is it? Compared to all others.
I can
Roshni,
contribute.
you wanna say something?
So I guess the doers are like us taking the action, and then there's like I'm not exactly sure, like there's destiny, and there's God, like God's will or God's mercy, and then ours, like our action, and then there's like our karma / destiny. I think that's what the three doers are. I mean, I'm not entirely sure.
Sure, we will go over it again today. So that is an important concept. We will brush it up again. So we will, before going to that, then we discussed about the world view. There are so many depressions, medicines available for that, especially in America. It's the world richest super country. Everybody wanna come over here. But if you notice, the over the counter itself, we can get medicines for depression, which is not in India. India doctor need to prescribe, but here you can get, just go ahead and grab it and come. So many were distressed. Why? Because they are thinking they are doing everything, and if it is a failure, they are going depressed. So let's brush it up with this verse. This is what we discussed with respect to what Roshni said about the doers. Adisthanam tata karta karanam cha pratak vidam vividascha pratak chesta daivam chaivatra panchamam. Anyone would like to read the translation? Come on, it's not from your memory. It's there on the screen. You're gonna read it.
Yeah.
The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action.
Thank you, Radhika Mataji. So the 5 factors, which is in different colors. Let's see what are those 5. And I think in the first session, Chintan showed about the forming activity, how it is not our own. It depends on 5 factors. Let's take a couple of minutes to go in depth in it. So of these 5 factors, the body is the first. It is the foundation. That is the adhisthanam, or the place of action, on which all other activities rest. So without that body, there will be no activity for anyone to do. Thus, the body is called as the seat of actions also. But the body by itself cannot do anything, right? If the body can do anything, then the dead body can also do something. So the body cannot do anything. For that, it needs something to activate it to do the course of action. That particular thing which activate the body to perform something is the performer, that is the jiva. Like a wielder of an instrument employs the body for various action. That is the second factor. Okay, I have the body, I have the jiva inside me, which makes the body alive. Then comes the third factor, which is the senses. So the senses on the body enable a variety of activities. Thus, they are the instruments, that is karanam of action, and becomes the third factor. Next goes the jnanendriyas and karmendriyas. The organs of perception and action together brings about complex activities. Vividascha cha pratak sestaha. Seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, and tasting, as well as holding, walking, standing, etc. We are doing a lot. These together forms the 4 constituents of action. Next comes the 5th factor, that is daivam, providential. Why is it called so? Because it is clearly visible. It is above human horizon. How much an action may be correct and precise, it will carry a measure of unpredictability in attaining the fruit. So we saw that agriculture ventures, how much ever they try, and they need to wait for the rain to come. Whatever happened, there might be pest, adverse weather. So it has the impact on the result or fruit of the agricultures. Krishna spoke about these in the 2nd chapter itself. In the verse 2.40, Abhikramanasaha Pratyavayaha. In this verse, he is describing about this. As this 4 of the 5 factor are within our range, the action for the most part must generally bring the necessary result, isn't it? But the role of the 5th factor should also be recognized. That is the Daiva factor. How significant this 5th role is, Krishna himself explains in Mahabharata, in the same parva where Bhagavad Gita appears. So I have a story to explain this. So once the 12-year forest exile of Pandavas was completed, and they were in the last year, 13th year of incognito, And they were in the palace of Virat. Rajas. You know? Anyone know what is the Raja name or the king name? Just to break the silence. Okay, I think everybody owed today that they are not going to unmute. Yeah, Chintan.
Virat.
Yeah, thank you. So these Panchapandavas were there in the Virat kingdom in the incognito period. So for at the time, Abhimanyu's marriage was happened. So a number of kings were assembled. A dialogue between Yudhishthira and his brothers with Krishna happened. So they were thinking what to do. Someone needs to go to have a talk with Duryodhan. Yudhishthira don't want to fight. He don't want to shed a lot of blood. So they asked like, okay, we don't want to fight. What shall we do? They concluded that let's send a messenger to Hastinapur to talk with Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and let's propose a move. So it was decided that there is no one can go other than Krishna. Krishna himself should go and speak to Duryodhan. Then only he can play wisely and he will get hold of what is in Duryodhan's thought and it will go smooth. So Yudhishthira was personally also telling to Krishna, I'm so anxious, I don't want to participate in war and bloodshed. So can you please go? He was so much worried. So Krishna said, okay, I will go. But Yudhishthira was also worried about Krishna's safety due to Duryodhan's wickedness and recklessness. Well, Krishna was ready to do anything for Yudhishthira. He wanted to make it clear to everyone that the outcome of the mission would be doubtful. He explained the intricacy. He points out how every endeavor in the world does not depend totally upon human effort. Underline. All the endeavor in the world does not depend on human effort. There's always a non-human factor, that is the daiva. So Krishna says this as an example to Yudhishthira and his brothers, that the land fit for cultivation is de-weeded and made ready by human effort. Yet without rain, it will not bring the desired result. In the absence of rain, also you can try for some irrigational measures, but the drought may set for providential reason. So this verse confirms this. Tat idam nishchitam buddhaya purvairapi mahatmabhihi daiva cha manuse chaiva samyuktam lokakaranam aham hi tat karishyami param purushe karataha daivam tu namaya sakyam karma kartum katachana. This verse is from Mahabharat, Udyoga Parva, chapter 79, verse 4 and 5. So here he is explaining that Daivam, the providential fact, plays a major role. So Krishna is telling, I can proceed to Hastinapur, I can talk with Duryodhana, but knowing as I do of Duryodhan, I will not serve my purpose. For Duryodhan, he always chooses to be wicked. So don't expect that I am going and trying my effort, so it will come out good. It also depends on the doer, who is Duryodhana. So we are not the only one to do everything. We are one among five. That is, we are one among the body performer, the senses, different kinds of endeavor, and the super soul. So endeavor is also matter. If we just like, okay, whatever I do, I am just one, so I don't want to do anything. No, your endeavor counts. So whatever you wanna achieve, you should try different endeavor, but finally it is on God's hand. So discussing this, we will go back. This is where we ended session 1, that we should come out of this logic of I am the doer. And in last session, we discussed about 2 personalities. One believe in God, other is an sort of atheist. Anyone know who are those folks? What was the discussion? I just forgot. I want someone's help.
Can you repeat the question?
We discussed about a conversation in last session. Anyone remember? Roshini, you remember what was that conversation about? What we discussed in that last session? One guy is Ram, another guy is Sam.
Yeah, I think it was about Sam was just going off life based on his own interpretations, while Ram is taking the guidance of supreme authority.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So Ram is having belief in God in short, and Sam is sort of an atheist. Current day man is so busy and he is so occupied. If we take a step back and look after like how we were 100, 200 years back, 500 years back, India was considered as ancient culture, heritage, wealth. India was the number one, or it has its own culture. Everybody were God conscious and everybody follows the customs and rituals. But now many were not following. Many don't have that belief in God itself. I don't have time. I'm running to take care of my family. Maybe I will sit and think about God when I become 60 or 70. Are we running in the right direction as what we look now? I just have a quick example. Like one time I was having a discussion with my cousin. He is working in an corporate office in Chennai. He said, we were discussing about this dollars or the tattoos where we can wear Om, this Omkar, where everything started with that Om. So my cousin said, no, I'm interested to put a tattoo of Om, but I want to hide it like in the top, or I don't want my colleagues or friends to see it. Dollar, I don't want to wear it. Dollar in the sense this chain dollar, this one. I was asking why so? You are shy or what? He said, no, I don't want my other friends to like, I don't want to put them in a spot. I don't want to hurt their feelings. What if my friend from other religion sees that I'm having this? It would look weird. I don't want to. So then I was confused, or like, why is that so? Now when we are in America, we have the own rights to wear or do whatever we want to. If we take a Sikhs, they will wear this, if Harbhajan sings and all, they used to wear the turban. They are not ashamed of wearing that. And they are not thinking that if I wear that turban, will my other sect of friends, other section of friends might feel bad, or will I hurt them? No, isn't it? Did anyone come across this situation? And I have my friend, like they used to wear dollars in their chain or even in the bracelet with the cross. They are Christians. And I have my friend, when I was doing college, she used to wear that, I think, burqa, the black thing. She used to say, when I step out of my home, I want to wear it. My parents taught me, so I want to continue it. But even I'm not sure the common language or term for it. When the ash, when we go to Shiva temple or Sai Baba temple, they used to give us the ash to wear it here. The white color one. Help me. What is the name in Hindi?
Vibhuti. Oh, Hindi.
Vibhuti is in Tamil. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I know it in Tamil. Tiruneerar Vibhuti. I don't know in
Rock.
English or Hindi.
Even in Telugu, it's Vibhuti. Yeah.
Vibhuti. Okay. What you can able to think of it, Chintan? How you will call it in Hindi?
Rock.
Huh?
It's called rock.
Okay. So here, if we wear it also, it states that I am following God or I am Hindu. So many won't wear it. Even in my college, after coming here, I used to wear it. Nobody said anything like in my office. And even I noticed Jews, they will wear a small blackish cap over here. But I noticed like many of us will think that I don't want to hurt my friends' feelings. Why is that? Is that I'm only doing it? No, right? I'm not sure if you guys come up for a discussion. Did this happen in your life or in your friend's life or for you itself? No, I'm shy. I don't want to wear it. I don't want to wear vibhuti or ash. No one? So I will call out names. I was like, when I was doing my school and college or any good thing or bad thing, I used to visit temple. If it is an exam morning, even I'm praying like I should write good, I will visit in the morning. Evening, I will go and say I did good. So that become the practice. But now if we ask anyone, will you go to temple or what is your routine? They will say like, no, I am super busy. So how we reach to this point, that is my question to all of you. How did we arrive here? Where many were not in a position to think God exists. I have no time for God now. I'm super busy in my work. How did
It's
we
not
arrive
about.
here?
This is Padma.
Hi,
I
Ratna.
don't. I think. See, if it is in India, right, the temples and everything is like close by, in the sense that the belief system, the that thing is there, like mom and dad or family we are with. That is what you have brought up and been culture. Seeing it, right? And here, once you come here, I used to go to temple every Monday and do whatever I used to do. But after coming here, if I want to go, not on the family, all are like should be supportive and cooperative. You don't want to go just by yourself. Sometimes you can go, but I think the other part is that the distance. Sometimes it is a 45 minutes to a 1 hour drive to get to the temple, which the one we wanted to go. You might not have that much time when you are working with small kids and whatnot. You might not be able to go every day like you were able to go at that time. But it might, I think, but if you make it, if everybody is cooperative and supportive, yes, you can go weekly once at least, if not daily. But I think it's not about the time. If you want something, you can make time. But I think it is about the choice. I think it is about, and also it is about, like, so for example, if you are 4 persons, only one person want to go, the other 3 persons are not, they don't see that what is the point of going, I'm busy, I cannot come. Do you want to create that friction unnecessarily for that, or do you want to, because just going into the temple is not, God is not there in the temple, God is there within you also. You can do that. Why to create that kind of a friction thing, and then you can satisfy with your own temple or do whatever at home too. So that's my thoughts.
Okay, thank you. Very good point. Thank you for coming up. So I can say, like, when I was a kid, even during my school days or college days, I was not given that freedom to say, no, I don't want to come. But nowadays, even the second grader or third graders are having like, no, I don't want to come. You better go. I will stay here. As you said, yes, we don't want to create unnecessary fiction in the name of going to temple. But when we were in India, when I'm not going, I can see my friends going if it is Friday or if it is any functions like Diwali, Pongal, or Dasara. Everybody used to go. If I'm not going, I'll like my friend is going, neighbors are going, they are going, they are going. Oh, I am alone. Papa, when can we go? I am alone staying here, or I will wait outside. Then my daddy will come to take me. But now we are not seeing, like we are not having that much connection with our neighbors. We don't know where they are going itself. The culture of going, yeah, if it is a function, we should go to temple. Temple is also a place many will visit. We should go and take darshan. That point, we are not sending it to our next generation. Anyone else?
I think even if you try to explain, at least
45
in my
minutes.
case, right? If I have tried to say something to my kids, let's go to the temple. What is the point in going to the temple? So in the beginning, it used to be fine. They used to come, but I think they're
Later
at an
point,
age, like
yeah,
later point, for them, it is not the most important thing in their life, you know,
that's true. Yep.
or they have other priorities. Mommy, if you want, you go, mommy. Why you are asking me? So
Asking me
basically,
exactly.
it's your life. If you like God, if you like meditation, you do the meditation. Why are you asking me to do it? I don't see a point in it. So it becomes because you cannot force anybody, right? They are individuals. They
That's
have their
I
own
agree.
journey.
Yeah.
So I guess by doing that, then you create expectations on them, and then the expectations are fulfilled. You feel miserable inside. It's not them. They are fine, happy. So I guess
And
to
we as a
create,
parent will also have the worry that if we force them, like what if they start to hurt us as well as hate God? Oh, because of God only my mom is pushing me, or why is she pushing me always? I just hate her, right? We also has
yeah,
that fear factor.
yeah. I think this happened to me because they used to believe in Krishna consciousness, all these things before. We used to go to Bhakti Vriksha. Now my son is 14 and a half, 15 almost. He says, if something happens, this is all Krishna's mercy. What, mommy? Gullible. You always say everything relates to Krishna. If silly thing happens, this is also because of Krishna. Mommy, you're really, really clueless, mommy. God doesn't exist. I said, because sun is raising, all this happening of Krishna one day. What are you talking, mommy? This is science, mommy. It is science. God doesn't exist, mom. So I don't know how to respond to that, my son. So I kept quiet because I don't have answers for in the way to explain him to make him understand. So I kept quiet. But I think he used, but that same kid, every night I used to read Krishna book, read stories which he wanted me to, even until like 12, 13 also. He used to, I have to read a story, some story, God story to him in the night. But he's saying now God doesn't exist, and I'm unable to convince or say something that
Yeah, God exists.
God
Right?
exists, and try to, because I'm trying, but I think he says prove it science. It is science and all. So I don't have that capability, or at this time at least the knowledge to help him to understand, because when I'm coming, right, I think they are going away when I try to tell too many times that let's chant or do something. So I'm just saying and just let it go.
As per the verse which we saw a few minutes back. I can see Pradeep, you unmuted. You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say something. Like, I don't know who was the previous speaker, but the 5 course that you took before this, that's really helps to understand the existence of God. So, and I thought like 14 to 15 years of age, that's the correct time to know at least there is a God. So if I don't know, if like since she told there is no answer for her, like maybe she can let her son attend one or two sessions. And because that was really like, even I had like iota of doubt before, but those sessions cleared my doubt that there is no doubt about existence of God for me now. So
I was glad to hear
yeah,
that, Pradeep.
So there were
Anyone
some
else?
sessions before. I thought this is the
yeah.
first
Before
session, right,
there
for
was
this
a five
course.
session course, and the first three
Before
sessions
this,
exact. Yeah, before this,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
so I thought for
This,
Padma,
this
were
one,
you
this is the
part
first
of
session,
this
right?
WhatsApp group?
no, it was
Are you
taken by
part of the
Chintan
WhatsApp group,
Prabhu,
Padma?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was in the YouTube also actually. So
Yeah. I took so I took that course. I think I joined first week or second week, and after that I
Discover
did not.
yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
I joined that thing, but the point is that I cannot see. I cannot make my kids join, and I have
no,
so many opportunities to join for my son.
yeah,
Not that I don't. I don't. I believe in God. Completely trust God, and everything is happening because of Him. There is no doubt.
yeah.
But
No.
I
My
think
question
if
is,
I
they shouldn't. Yeah, since they no that doubt is valid, and even the first session actually speaks so much about the existence of the Creator, because without the Creator there is no uh, creativity. So like there's no universe, like about that. So I felt like that may help him, but yeah,
Yeah, the thing is, I am
Yeah.
unable to make him sit to any courses or anything. If I'm able to sit, I'm just paying.
I know.
I just enroll it, but he is not able to. He's not joining. He's not
I
even willing to
totally
join
agree.
at this point. So I'm at a stage where somehow Krishna has to do something. That's all. I kind of just hands up. That's it, at least for now.
That's the teenage. I think we can't be much short, but yeah.
Yeah.
There's one more comment in the chat box. I'll read out. I don't know, but seems the more I know about life, I do less about God. Parents are not teaching their kids and lack of spiritual knowledge. I do believe in God, but as I grow older, I felt I know everything and slowly stopped. I used to go to temple regularly till high school, but now not so much that I don't stand and pray for a few minutes as well. I believe knowledge and winning, getting what I wanted so far, reduced my religious practice, but now it's a different story. And one more, it's we forget the God because of our busy mechanic life. Exactly. So I totally agree with Ram, your point that we are so busy that we don't have a minute or two to stand and pray, because my meetings start by 7:30 and I will get call. Before that, I need to get ready. I totally understand. Anyone who wanna, you can unmute and speak. If you don't want to speak, you can type it in the chat. Anything, any other point? It's
Uh, as you mentioned, even I used to do the same thing when I was like chased and during bachelors. I used to go to temple before the exam, and I used to go after the exam as well, saying that okay, thank God I did well. But I think over the years, like when I got married and everything, now it kind of become more of a like multiple person thing. Like so, I had to take like I had to see whether they're okay to come to temple, and we had to find
mhm.
time to go there. And also more than that, coming to US initially the first 5 years, I don't know, like this work is worship thing went into my head. I concentrated so much on the work or something. And then I didn't work that much, but the surroundings, like whatever the friend circle I have. So because we get
Mm-hmm.
only weekends, right? Whatever, like we had like some 5 or 6
Association matters.
families.
Yep.
Exactly. So if they had one party, like we had to go and then we had to call for our birthday parties. Like it's all like, so you're really tied up with all these things. And when the summer comes, they all call you, like if you don't go they'll feel bad. But then like slowly I came
God won't
apart from
feel
that
bad. You
association.
won't tell us, right?
No, I came out of that association. Now I think like I came back to that stage where
Mm-hmm.
I devote myself to God, going to temples, especially from last year. I don't know if it's all
Got
about
you.
phases, or I didn't really know, but I think what I noticed was association is also important.
Yes,
So what
it
association you have in
matters.
US, like if you're associated with people who regularly goes to temple, you also tend to go with them. So like if you have like friends who usually party on weekends, that's what you do. So association is definitely important. That's what I thought.
Got you. Thank you, Pradeep. Anyone else? I see iPhone 2, Harshil, Selva, Roshni. Anyone want to share about your views, how we get here?
I think I can go if that's okay. I think for us, I think so I'm very grateful that I have a temple, a local ISKCON temple, 10 minutes from where I live. So we could like before the pandemic, we would go there like every Sunday for Sunday feast, and we'd have like a bunch of programs in people's houses because I live in an area where there are a lot of ISKCON devotees here. And I think that association matters, but I think other people were making a great point of like the cultural difference. I think because I lived in India with my grandparents when I was really little, and when I moved back here to live with my parents, I saw the difference because in America and India everything is like more accessible, like the temples and everything were like walkable distance. Here, like we'd have to take the car and drive to a temple, and that's not every day, like maybe like every other weekend or something like that. And also like here, like we don't really talk to our neighbors. Everyone's kind of like to themselves. There's some neighbors who like talk to each other and everything, but overall, like in India, it's more like, you know, if your parents are doing something and they're busy, you can go to your next door neighbor's house or something like that, and then you can kind of get the association there. And I think another part of it is possibly like maybe it's like some sort of conditioning or something. People probably like maybe people grew up with very strict parents who gave them like a very warped version of what religion was, and that like how God is like, you know, oftentimes God is seen as like this ultra strict disciplinarian who's just out to punish people who make any sort of mistake. And that's why people might be like, okay, like because of the trauma of that type of upbringing, not trauma, but just that type of upbringing, people might just don't want to look at God because it brings up so much pain. And I think another part is, I think as a lot of people grow up and become adults, there's an increase in cynicism, not just skepticism, but it's cynicism and resignation. So a lot of people are just like on this hamster wheel to get nowhere, chasing all these different things and thinking that that's what's gonna make them happy, but it never works because they're missing the true essence. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you for coming up and sharing your views.
Okay.
So, yeah, Selva.
I just want to add one point that in India, our education system also is one of the reasons for this.
Perfect. Exactly, I agree. We don't have any curriculum or anywhere we are not discussing about Bhagavad Gita or God. I totally agree.
Right.
So, moving on. So, this is a famous quote from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. It's a religion without philosophy is sentiment or fanaticism, while philosophy without religion is mental speculation. So, there are certain class of men who simply philosophing, and there are certain class of men who blindly follow religion or ritualistic process. There is a book written by Samuel Alexander. It's a book called Space, Time, and Deity. And in this book, this guy Samuel defines religion as religion leans on metaphysics for the justification of its conviction of reality of its object, that is God. Philosophy leans on religion to justify it and calling the possessor of deity by the religious name, that is God. So they are having two methods for it, philosophy and religion. They both are complementary. This is what mentioned according to science, that a religion and philosophy both are complementary. If we take in Srila Prabhupada's description or definition, religion without a philosophy or without a reasoning is just sentiment or fanaticism. At the same time, if a philosophy without having that religion, it's just our speculation. So Bhagavad Gita is the combination of both. It is scientific and also religious. You should understand that should have religion, but when you understand everything, that will be philosophy. Otherwise, one becomes just fanatic or sentiment, a religious fanatic. You cannot have one without the other. If you simply take philosophy without religion, without sense of God, that itself is just a mental speculation. But when you have the science and logic and religion, that is the first class religion. That was the discussion of Srila Prabhupada, is one of his disciples. So the religion is God worshipping, and everything is explained there in the Bhagavad Gita, just like the whatever we saw in the sessions, immortality, the soul, the philosophy is there. Combination of religion and philosophy, then only that makes sense. Say, for example, people used to say you should not pluck the Tulasi Maharani, Tulasi leaves on Dwadasi day. Say, as Batma was telling, if my kid asks a question, then I am unable to answer what is that religiously which satisfy them with a scientific answer. At that time, kids basically used to think that Mama is just telling, she is a sentimentalist, a religious one. That's why she is telling. So there is a reason behind it. But first of all, we should know, or we should have taught by our parents. So then we can able to convey it to our kids. The problem is our ancestors, slowly after the multiple invasion, we lost to know about that scientific reason behind whatever activities we are doing. So that culture was not given to us, and we are not sure why. So why we shouldn't pluck Tulsi on Dwadasi day? There are scriptural reference to it. Say in Haribhakta Vilas, they say that it is generally forbidden to pluck Tulsi on Shankranti, that is Purnima, Amavasya, Dwadashi, or Sundays even, according to the strict rules of the Smritis. But the most important rule is you should not pluck Tulsi on Dwadasi day. So why is it? Because she is the number one or very good devotee of Krishna. She would be fasting on Ekadasi day and she would be tired. So we shouldn't pluck it on the day. So a scripturally learned and religious person, if he does not want to destroy his balance duration of life, he should not pick Tulsi on Dwadasi days and Durva grass on Sunday. These are the examples given in our Shastras. But we ourselves won't know. This is given in the Garuda Puran and Haribhakta Vilas. They are explaining with the reason, but we ourselves don't know the reason behind it to tell it to our kids. So I used to ask my mom, like, why should I bow down? Why are you lighting the lamp on this time? Why not the other time? Why shouldn't I lit at 12 o'clock? Why at like 6 o'clock? Exactly during the teenage. And I will ask, like, why I shouldn't comb my hair in the evening? Why I shouldn't cut my nails? Whenever I do, my mom will say, no, don't do it. not this time. So I will question back. Till I was like 12 or 13, I was like, okay, I won't do, okay, I won't do. Then I started like, give me a reason, give me a valid reason, then I won't do it. If you don't know a reason, then don't tell me. So simply, I cannot follow something blindly. So how come we are here? That is, we don't know. Our parents didn't taught us because their parents didn't taught us. How come we ended up here where we were the treasure of culture and rituals? How? We will see that. So the impacting factors for all of us to be here, we covered most of this, but we will go over it. Destruction of Indian education system, as Selva mentioned. We were the treasure house for the culture values we had, but our culture were destroyed systematically by our invaders. I will show you a video here. Just give me a minute. Like, if we are going to temple, oh, silly guys, they are going for temple. They are believing in some mythologies they are believing in. They are not true. So they just got scared about our values and they want to distract us. And they thought first we should distract their knowledge. If you're like, see, when before everybody thought about the space, our Indian Vedas, our scriptures shows how many different species are there. What is the exact distance between each planet? In our temples, they have the Navagrahas, that is the 9 planetary system. We know that very, very far ahead, more than like 5,000, 10,000 years. This Bhagavad Gita, we are having it itself, it's 5,000 years old. And in that, Krishna is telling, before telling it to you, I have told this to Vivashwan, the sun god. It's like long back, the old heritage. So we had everything. They got scared, like, how can we distract? Start with the education system. Say they started like everything is myth. A monkey taking some mountain to cure someone. Oh my God, it's a story. So in the, I'm sorry, it's the Kaun Banega Crorepati. That show, they used to ask the questions, who is Sita according to the Indian mythology story. So wherever it is, they made us to think that everything is a story. It is not real. It is not true. And we ourselves are feeling ashamed of whatever I am following. As I said, I don't want to wear God with a dollar with God. I don't want to put a tattoo with a God. I don't wear a t-shirt which has a God image, or I don't want to go to temple. I don't want to wear this vibhuti or the ash. So we started feeling ashamed because of the invader distracted. If you just Google it, how was our education system before the invasion? We were strong in it. We had so many universities, Nadala universities, many universities. Now we don't know the name even. The Gurukula system was distracted, and they have a systematic, well-defined plan to distract our education system first, and they won in that. And because of that, as Selva mentioned, in our schools, we don't have anything related to religion. Second, the party who first took over from the Britishers, they announced that India is a secular country. What does secularism mean? It's the principle of separation of the state from religious institution. That is the definition for it. What they did, they just ignore the sacred places. For example, take river Ganges. They intentionally kept it unclean. So many won't go there. Less will believe in God, and there will be more to consume. What does that belief and consumption, how that two go hand in hand? It's like, if I'm believing in God, I won't purchase more, I don't want to consume more things, I will focus more on God. If I don't believe in God, I will have like, more thing, more sophistication, many thing, I will consume more. So the secularism put us ignore our heritage, the sacred places. That is the second factor. Third is influence from West. Indians started feeling that they are inferior to the West. And whatever West does, those are the best. Whatever the Britishers or English speaking did, that those are the best. And we started copying everything. Starting from living together, the divorce, separation, we'll go for a late child, start our family life. Even at the age of 35, we are not thinking of starting a family life. And even if we start, we will abort the child. So this living together, if you think about your great grandfather, even your grandfather, did you ever heard, you can have a discussion or ask them, in your age, how many divorce happened? How many separated? Do you guys started living together before marriage? They will be surprised to hear the term, this living together and all. But we started following the West. And you know, surprisingly, Westerners are following. They are thinking that Indian culture is the best, and they are started following how Indians are doing. I have a couple of my friends, they are Americans. I have Russian friends. I have Japanese friends. And I have my colleague as Korean. They used to tell, I can see them like, oh wow, Indian culture. They are like, you are living together as a family, not a individual family or nuclear family, a joint family. And your parents are finding your partners, bride or groom, and they are getting you married, but we need to search on our own. So most of the values, they are trying to take it from India, but India, they started copying the West, and we are going down and down. Next goes the TV, internet, or the social media, I can say in one word. When I remember in my childhood days, we used to have one channel, Doordarshan, and it used to like every Sunday 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. we used to watch that Mahabharat or Ramayan. And slowly, when I grew up, so many channels came in, all garbages. Now, if whoever having kids, you can agree with me, I cannot watch anything with my kid, even if it is a teenager or a toddler. Even like one single movie we cannot watch with kids together. It has so much garbage in it, isn't it? Britisher took 250 years to destroy our culture. TV took around 20 years. Internet took around 10 years. Bollywood 5 years. Our mobile phone is taking even like less than a year, and it has a huge impact on us. I'd like to show you a video. Following our, whatever the Bollywood shows, I'm following it. They are like my gods. You know what? One girl committed suicide because her favorite movie hero committed suicide. The same fashion. This is how we are heading to. We don't want to make the same mistake again. As we said, like BG is not in our curriculum because it's a secular country. But foreign countries are having Bhagavad Gita as a curriculum. You know, Sushma Swaraj made an attempt. Ishkan requested her and attempted with the help of Sushma Swaraj. to make Bhagavad Gita as a Rashtriya Granth, which means a national book. You know, India did an vote to make Bhagavad Gita as a national book. You know what statement she told when she was debating to make this Bhagavad Gita as the national book? She said, everyone should read 2 slokas of Gita every day. It is a scripture of 700 slokas and it can be finished in a year. Read it again and continue this till the end. After reading it 3 to 4 times, you will discover a path to lead a life, the way I discovered. This is what Ms. Susma Swaraj addressed before the crowd. And she also mentioned, when I read Gita for the first time, I did not agree with the concept of whatever happens, happens for the best. Whatever happens in future will be good. But later, I got an answer for it. So she tried her best, and Indians, we ourselves didn't vote for it, for our own scripture, our own epic. My friends used to say like, oh, you are a vegetarian, you won't eat chicken, just try it out. Why are you like this? I was like, why you need to kill an animal, kill a living being to satisfy my tongue? That too, like for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, what I'm eating, I'm killing someone. Earlier days when I was in school and college, I was felt all alone. When I joined to work also, like when we are going for a lunch outing, I will be the only vegetarian there. So they used to give a lot, I cannot have it. So my friend used to tease me like, oh, you alone, oh, your food, well, you need to sit in a corner like that. Then slowly I got convinced myself, and with the help of the scriptures, with the help of my upbringing, I was like, why I should kill another living being? Is it like, I used to think like, if all of a sudden some higher power comes and take one kid out of the home, kill it, and how do the parents suffer? Similarly, we are such a high power to that lower animal species, and we are taking one from their family and killing it and eating for my own taste of tongue. I don't want to do it. I was strong. I didn't fall for it. So these are the different impacting factors which put us in this situation where we are now. The answer to that question where we begin the chapter. So if you can look into this, this is an amazing story. So once a man was chased by elephant in a forest. Seeing no place, he just climbed on the tree, which you are seeing. But he slipped. He was about to fall. Before he could hold on to a branch, you can see he is holding to a branch. He looked up and found that elephant is waiting to devour him. The elephant is ready to pull out the tree even. And he saw 2 rats, this one white and black, and they were slowly nibbling the branch. He was hanging on to it. So you can see already half of the portion of the tree branch was nibbled. He understood that very soon the branch is gonna fall down. Okay, fine. What if he fall down? He looked down, he saw how many snakes were there. At that time, say if he fall down, the snake will bite. Already this rat are working so hard to make him fall down. And if he can't escape that, the elephant is moving the tree. With this all is shake, there was a honeycomb you can see at the top. The bees started coming out, and that bees is also biting him. You can see the hands, legs, everywhere the bees are biting. On all this, suddenly a drop of honey fell on his face. So he pulled out his tongue and licked it. The honey was oozing again, and he was adjusted himself with the branch, the direct spot. where the honey can fall again and again on his tongue. If you see behind, Krishna is sitting and giving his hand, but he is so busy in licking the honey from the honeybees, forgetting the obvious elephant, snake, bees, rats. He just got the honey straight into the tongue and he was happy, forgetting his precarious situation. This analogy is from Mahabharata that perfectly fits even the common man in this time. The man represent us, all the common man now. We got stuck in this precarious situation of this material world, that is the samsara. Death, that is the elephant, is chasing us continuously. It will not leave us without devouring us, isn't it? No one can escape from death. I can see Ram is saying, honey is my salary. Yeah. And the black and white rats you are seeing, those represent night and day, respectively. They are slowly reducing our age. Every night, every day comes, we are getting 1 day older. The hissing snakes which you are seeing there, they represent the obstacles in the life. The honeybees represent the day-to-day problems we face in our life. The sweet honey represent the pleasures of this world. So if we accept the lending hand of Krishna, we can save ourselves a lot of trouble. But we are too attached to the drops of dripping honey. That is the plight of us. That is where we are enjoying with the material pleasure. So trying to understand Bhagavad Gita with one's own mundane knowledge is like licking a bottle of honey from outside. Only when you become a devotee of Krishna, and if you try to understand it, as Susma Swaraj stated in her discussion with the crowd, which we discussed a couple of minutes back, when you read it, read the authoritative Bhagavad Gita with the association of devotee, you will get to know a lot. You will understand a lot. As we are discussing, like even 10 minutes or one sloka per day, first time it would be like, oh my God, I couldn't understand anything. Maybe next time you will get something. Every time, even if you say like, I am reading Bhagavad Gita for 10 years, if you read it on the 11th year, you will get something out of it, something new which you haven't contemplated on your 10 years of journey. Whenever you read it, you will get a new thing out of it. So what happens if we do not believe in God? Anyone want to give a try? What will happen? I know every one of us has the belief in God. That's why we are here. If we are an atheist, we won't be here to discuss about God and to rethink about like what we need to do. But just take it as like, what will happen if I'm not believe in God? Yes, Roshini.
I guess like if we don't believe in God or like a higher power, I think we can be very
Maybe you wanna be a little louder, Roshini?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now better.
Okay, great. I think if we don't believe in God or a higher power, I don't know. I think we can just kind of at some point, maybe for certain people can be like kind of working on just going on off of autopilot. But I kind of wanted to say something about kind of the how you were talking about the factors that have led to the degradation of Vedic culture. If that's okay. I think all those factors are very valid, but I think I want to just say, like, as someone who grew up, who's born and brought up here, I've seen how, like, those factors have been, like, used to control people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of youth, and I know what I'm saying is very controversial, but, like, a lot of youth have dealt with a lot of different trauma related to that kind of stuff, and which doesn't help anybody. And at the same time, they might again might see like a very like warped view of what God is, and then just maybe some of them might not want to believe in God because it's like, oh, this is what God is, you know. And I think it's just like this. What happens if you don't believe in God? I think we could just end up in this ugly despair of not knowing what to do and feeling like whatever misery that we're dealing with is never going to end. So I just kind of want to put that out there because I kind of want this to be like a safe space to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is coming from someone who was born and brought up in the US. So if you don't agree, that's okay. But I just want to put that out. Thank you for listening.
That's okay. Anyone else want to share your thoughts? What happened if we do not believe in God?
Yeah.
Yes, Selva.
So this is not my opinion. It is from Shastra. Basically, nothing happens to them, but simply the Janma is wasted.
Exactly. You can't get out of the birth, death, life cycle at all at any point of time.
Yeah.
We will stay here, like we will like always stay on earth, like we will die, but we will always suffer and stay on earth.
Wow, thank you, Harshil. Anyone else? Okay, let's see what happened. I don't want to tell. Krishna himself is saying this was from Bhagavad Gita, as it is, chapter 9, 29th verse. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosi na priyaha ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I'm also a friend to him. You can see that I am also a friend to him. So on my question here, that if Krishna is equal to everyone, no one is his special friend, then why does he take a special interest in devotees who are always engaged in transcendental service? This is not a discrimination, it is natural. He is just like a cloud which pours rain all over, regardless whether it is of rock or land or water. But for his devotee, he gives some special attention. As Selva mentioned and Harshil mentioned, that's fine. You don't want to believe in God, you can be atheist, no worries. But Krishna is not your friend. You won't go out of this birth life cycle. So there is a story related to it. There was a millionaire. He was having millions, billions of money. One son was obedient. He followed whatever the dad said. He asked for guidance. He just followed his dad. Another one questioned him, always fight with him. And he was like daily, day to day, morning and evening, it would be a fight argument with him. So you can very well say like, yes, millionaires, two son, the dad will always love both, isn't it? If we have the kid, two kids, one is obeying, one is not, we won't hate the other one, but we will give little extra attention to the one who hears to us, follows us. It's like our pet, I love. It's both are my son, but I love him little extra. The same thing with Krishna. Krishna is saying, I am also a friend to him. If we follow what Krishna is saying. This verse we already discussed. I just wanna refer again. Mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi ata chetvam ahankara na shroyasi vinakshasi. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of the conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. You will be lost. So you can see, by my grace, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life. For one who acts in Krishna consciousness, Lord Krishna becomes the most intimate friend. He looks after his friend's comfort always, and he gives himself to his friend. One should note very carefully that one who is not active in Krishna consciousness is losing himself in the material whirlpool, in the ocean of birth and death. So wait a minute. Is Krishna threatening us? If you are not following me, you will be lost. I won't help you. I will not your friend. Is it so? Is Krishna threatening us? What do you feel? First, I thought just by reading with my mundane knowledge, it's like, what is threatening me? But no, he is giving a warning. Say, for example, Selva, you unmuted. You want to say something?
Yeah, so you asked a question, is Krishna is threatening? According to my understanding, he says, whatever the prarabdha karma for the jivatma, that will happen as it is. Nothing will get adjusted, or that jivatma will not get help from the super consciousness. But if that jivatma becomes a bhakta, then obviously he has to go through the prarabdha karma, but the super consciousness will help him.
Perfect. You are so advanced. Just for the understanding for everybody, he is not threatening me. Say, you are going out. I can say a husband or wife, you alone going out. Your partner is staying home. They will tell you, right? Please wear the mask. Wear the mask, else you will get corona. When my husband used to go out, my son and I will be waiting there near the door. I'll say, you're going out without the mask. Are you going to bring corona to home? Wear the mask. We are not threatening him. We are warning him. We are their well-wisher. Please wear it. And we used to remember, like, when we go in India, our parents used to say, like, don't put your hand outside the window in the bus or train. Don't put it. Even I got one time slap. It's like I used to love, like, when the air comes, if I keep my fingers like that, the air will go through it. I love to keep it in the window side. I used to fight for the window seat, but I got my mom once slapped me. How many times I need to tell you, keep your hand inside. And even in the bus, they used to write like, hand, head, or leg, don't put outside the window. They are not threatening us. They are just enlightening us. They are warning us. If you just put it out, what if the pole or the another vehicle pass by, they will hit and you will lose your hand for your life. They are just warning us with a care and affection. We used to tell our kid, if you are not studying well, you will fail. Study good. Even the traffic signs, it's warning, right? If you are not going in a speed, we are like, they will give ticket. Yes, but for why? It is for our safety. So Krishna is not threatening here. He is giving us a warning with love and affection. Please follow it. You will be safe. As Selva mentioned, the karma, whatever you did, will be there. But by His mercy and grace, we can pass over the obstacles in conditioned life. So now we come up to the problem statement. Most people have a profoundly superficial, illogical, and spiritual deceived beliefs. Their ideology and theology was internally inconsistent, morally vacuous, and intellectually they're threadbare. Just it's like a thread, and pretty representative of so many Indian, particularly young people these days. It's the mismatch. Millions of people try to make sense out of the life with such a garbed understanding of reality. This is a problem statement. So we figured out why are we here. We found a problem. So now we need to get into the solution, how we can come out of it. We figured out the problem. What is the solution for it? But we have 6 more minutes left. We can't complete the plan. We can take it to the next week. So next 6 minutes we can go for Q&A. If you have any question or answer, we can discuss. Any question or any point you liked here, you wanna share? So to Batma, I just wanna say that I don't want to deviate at the time when you were discussing about your kids. It's just my 2 cents. Don't force your kid do this or do that. It would, as I said, it would become a hate for us as well as for them. I'm not sure whether Padma is still there, but the association, as Pradeep mentioned, association matters a lot. So you can show them by an example. You can make that as an example. If I remember, even now, I will remember that my grandma used to visit temple every Friday, every Pradosham, or every Ekadasi, like that. So now I am thinking like, oh, in that old age she can able to do, I can also give it a try. I'm just young compared to her, I can try. So we can set a good example for our kids. We don't want to force them. By looking at us, they themselves start to follow it. If we ourselves start spending 10 minutes in reading Gita or scripture, Mahabharata or Ramayana, our kids will also start looking like 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, 2 months, and then they will think like, oh, what are you reading? I just also want to read with you. And they will carry that with themselves. Okay, I will spend some time daily. If we are spending 10 minutes, at least they will think, okay, I will spend at least 5 minutes per day to start reading the scriptures. I want to spend 5 minutes for God for every day. In that way, maybe if she watched the recording, she will get through it. Any questions, any discussion? Anyone want to turn on your video now for the question? Yes, Neetu, you have any question?
Yeah, I have a question. I saw lots of people in the house. The lady is following that's our spiritual things, but the most of the people they are not following that thing. It's not about a single person in our Hindu houses. If we see, so if you see, there is some lots of imbalance in that house. There is lots of things about that, and this is poking somehow the, it doesn't matter it's a man or it's a woman who is following that thing, but that's a negative things impact on their mind. So how can they have to, the people who is following our rituals, our Vedas, so how can they consistent to follow them? Somehow it's distracting.
I can say like be as an example or role model for your family. I have couple of my friends, like only she used to go to temple. She will come, she will say that my daughter or my husband won't follow. They won't read any scripture, and I will be like an alien in their eyes. Sometimes I will feel so upset and feel bad for myself. But looking at the other devotees, or when I am in your association, I feel inspired. Even slowly, if we start to do things, we are consistent and we are doing it, that will give a change in our family or in our partners or kids. Even I can say that in my home also, like I was the one who started like doing all elaborate things. Even my husband is God conscious. He used to pray daily, but he won't do that as elaborately as like doing an hour puja and all. He won't read. But I started following it like slowly after an year. He gave company with me, like, okay, I will also. "Oh, you only, how can, like, it's like two-way, like, okay, I will give company. Another way, why only you? I can also do it. Then slowly my son also started, okay, I will also spend some time with you. So whatever, whether they are with me or not, I was consistent in what I am doing. That will definitely bring a change. Like, wow, after everything, she is still continue to do it. It is not only me, many I know. Even I have one of my friend in Connecticut. Like she used to travel here all alone by herself. She will say like, "Oh, my husband or my daughter don't want to accompany me, but I just want to be engaged and be in the association of devotees. So if there is any function, she will come. Like we don't want to compromise and get down and upset. You start being following your thing slowly. You will get that change in your family also, and we can put our endeavor. And finally, the Daiva factor is there. So you can pray to the God, how is He wanted to bring in the change in your family.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
helps.
Yeah,
We
this
cannot change other people' nature, but we can give it a try. As in the five factor, the four factor we can try, and the last one we can leave to the God with our prayers, obviously.
yeah, actually, in our culture, there are lots of like we are you are following Gita. Some people are following another, so that is they can't believe. Okay, we are following this, and you are going on this way. What's that? So it's sometimes it's very hard to tell them. Okay, try it. It's not a bad thing that you can try. So it's explaining. This explaining is very hard sometimes.
I can
They
understand.
yeah, they believe in God, everything, but that's this thing is somehow, oh my God, yes.
So I can say you are fortunate that they are not atheist. They are believing in God and they have faith on something, some
Yes,
superpower, right?
yeah, yes,
So that is a blessing. I have my friend, her partner won't believe at all. It was like daily there would be a rift, but still she is continuing after year, years after years. So you are blessed to have your family believe in some supernatural power.
yeah, that's it. Help, this one is help. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Chintan Prabhu, you have any question? I'm seeing you are unmuting yourself.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what you just mentioned to Neetu.
Mhm.
Uh, so that is why these sessions that we are having, Neetu, they are not completely too much. Uh, we are on the line of scriptures, but we are not making it whole lot of verses and whole lot of Bhagavad Gita based. We are taking real time examples and putting how Bhagavad Gita can be put it into our day to day life. So if you can get some of your family members also to join such similar sessions where you don't have to directly speak with them, we are the ones who are talking, that may also help. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Thank you, Prabhu. So if there is no other questions, then we can wrap up.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sandhya.
One of the things you
Selva?
show me, right? Like the snakes and rats, honeybees. What is the
Mhm.
represent about elephant, Mataji? I
Elephant
didn't
is
see.
death.
Death. Oh, that's why it's big.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for nice class.
Thank you, everyone. Hoping to see you in the next week's session. Thank you, Radhika Mataji. Thank you, Harshal.
Thank you so much
Selva.
for the information. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pradeep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Selva. Thank you, Roshni, Neetu.